Hey there! In this video we're going to go in depth about how to choose a proper lineup for a given map and side to help you turn the odds in your favor. By the end of this video you should be able to understand why one comp is better than the other in certain situations. Let's roll! Hello guys and welcome to the dojo. While choosing a team composition may seem like a really basic thing, we see a lot of players struggle with it, even in low masters. By understanding the decisions behind choosing a team composition, you'll be able to help yourself and your team to set up and to have better chances at doing your objective. A lot of you might argue that it's a waste of time to talk about team-related stuff when you're playing in solo competitive. We believe that just by having a solid understanding regarding what would be good on the given part of the map, you can choose your heroes better and you're going to be able to do more. If you are a good communicator, you can even help your team in creating a good comp and tactic for the map so that you can get the objective more easily. Counter picking and being able to see the strengths and weaknesses of a comp is an important game sense related skill. Alright, picking the right initial composition always happens blindly when you're in a solo environment. We recommend that you play what you're comfortable with. That should be your number one priority. Sometimes it's better to pick someone that you feel like playing, rather than being forced to play someone that you dislike. 4 DPS, for example, can actually work pretty well in some maps. We're going to show you why, so don't be afraid to pick what you want. Thinking about what the best comp would be on the given map and side is a good thing to do in the beginning of your matches, as it kinda gets you on track. Now let's see how to make the best possible team composition choice when you're doing it blindly. Before we begin with the strategies about how to pick the best lineup, we're going to go through the usual lineups that you can see in the meta, describing their pros and cons and how you should play in them. Basically, there are 3 types of lineups that you can run, and a lot of variations to these foundational types. First of all, there are slow compositions, or so-called deathball lineups. These revolve around slow tanks like Reinhardt or Orisa, who push in slowly and steadily to create space for their DPS to allow them to do their job. The biggest strength of these lineups are survivability and flexibility, as you have access to a lot of shields and protective abilities. The biggest weakness, however, is that they're usually really slow and have little to no high ground control. It's really hard to react to enemy team movements with an uncoordinated team. Therefore, slow compositions are ideal when there are no meaningful high grounds and you need to be able to withstand punishment for a longer period of time. Utilizing the shields of the tanks, the backline can slowly push up to the enemy or hold a choke. You need to play close to each other, as anybody who lags behind can be an easy target for divers. When you're running a deathball comp in solo queue, pay attention to the hero picks of your teammates. If you have a Rein, you might be better off with Zarya rather than Winston, to provide more utility and ad hoc shielding against burst damage. Regarding DPS picks, McCree and Reaper can really shine in a slow comp, as the tanks usually allow them to set up to preferable positions and do damage freely. When picking supports, one of the healers needs to be able to heal a lot, and Lucio is usually crucial to having more speed and to be able to storm the positions of the enemy if needed. This lineup is the easiest to run with random people, as it has a lot of flexibility. You can easily go 3 tank death comp, for example, and have freedom of DPS choice. Dive comps are the second fundamental type that you can see. A pure dive comp's objective is to use their mobility to separate enemies in order to eliminate them quickly. Dive compositions trade mobility and flexibility in their positioning for raw damage and survivability. Tanks nearly always include Winston and D.Va to be able to jump on the enemy and wither them down quickly. Flankers are the go-to DPS solutions here, who are quick enough to dive with the tanks. However, a good Pharah or a sniper hero can thrive well in the chaos created by the initiators. Supports usually include Zenyatta for damage amplification, and a main healer who's able to heal the diver tanks or flankers. In a solo queue environment, it's harder to run a proper dive comp as it requires a lot of cooperation. If you're not decisive about the target priorities or mistime the engagement and go in separately, you can easily go down one by one. You can still run it, however, it's a lot stronger if you're coordinating. There are some comps that can be called specialized lineups, because they're revolving around a single strength and try to surprise or overwhelm the enemy team by abusing their one trick. Double Sniper with Zenyatta and Mercy gives a really high pick potential. They can get to high ground and do instant kills with a damage boost in Discord. The tanks can then go in and clean up around the objective. The pirate ship lineup is run on payload maps, where usually Orisa, Bastion, and sometimes Torbjorn sets up on the payload and pushes with raw damage. The strength of this lineup is that it can usually wipe the whole enemy team if they're not prepared, easily claiming the first part of the map. They are immobile, however, and a team with a little coordination can jump on the payload to kill them quickly. We're not going to go over all cheesy lineups, but the last one does need to be mentioned. This is the Builder comp, or Cancer as the players call it, running Symmetra, Torbjorn, Orisa, usually with Mercy as the solo healer. Used for defense only, this comp gets stronger as time passes and needs hard commitment from the attacking team if they want to break the defenders. Alright, you're now well educated in the usual team comps and when they're used mostly. It's also important to be able to judge the map and side to pick the best comp for the job. The things that you want to consider when deciding who to pick and what kind of lineup you want to run are chokes to hold or break, high grounds to contest, open areas with wide line of sight or small corridors with close quarters, and number of paths that can be used. Chokes are usually the best for holding, and you will need a strong push if you're attacking. A dive comp, for example, is good at avoiding chokes on some maps, but wouldn't be as good for defending it. High grounds can come in a variety of sizes and importance. If there is a high ground that cannot be ignored, like the first point on Anubis, you need to figure out what to do against the defenders setting up there. Jumping them or getting picks with snipers can work, however it can only work if the whole team commits. Line of sights are very important because some heroes are better in open areas and some thrive in close quarters. A deathball comp, for example, is usually better in tight spaces, as it's easier to stick together and push the enemies that way. Number of paths that can be used is important because it gives your team options and flexibility if you're the attacker, and makes it harder for the defenders to hold. Utilizing mobility and speed can make a real difference if there are multiple ways to attack from. So how should this affect you? Don't pick a sniper if the map has short lines of sight, like the middle section of King's Row. If you're already running a Tracer and Winston on Volskaya attack, you might be better off with Diva than Roadhog. Think about the map and use the knowledge that you have to make good hero decisions. Last but not least, let's talk about the importance of synergies. You now know about the comps and the map specifics that can help in your decision. Now you also need to consider the inherent strength of the heroes participating in your team. There's an emphasis on potential combos, because if multiple choices would be fitting, the one with the greater potential should be better. For example, having a Junkrat and a Tracer should tell you that an Ana is not going to have a good ult target. Moira might be a better fit. You can also think about the hero's kit in regards to the map section that you're playing on. For example, 2 CP maps can be taken really quickly if the attacking team is able to snowball, winning a fight and then claiming the second point with ults. If you have no lockdown ultimates, you might have a hard time taking the second point. Picking Zarya can be a good decision in this example, giving access to strong shields and a potential early grab. The main takeaway is that you should always think about what the best choices would be. By having educated knowledge about this topic, you'll have better hero picks and you should be able to help your team make better lineup decisions, if they're open to suggestions. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment below. Our Discord community awaits you if you're looking for improvement, and you can support our videos on Patreon and get coached in the same time. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.